energy. Don't you fuck with my 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 energy. Don't you fuck with.
Hey guys, for those that want to practice voodoo, check out Voodoo's Door. I mean, guys, I'm not even playing. I'm just going to tell you guys who I'm voting for right now. I'm going to vote for Biden. I'm not voting for anybody else. I just don't see it. Just telling y'all right now. Nah, I'm good. I'll just vote for Biden, and I will be voting. And I'm properly registered, and my address is properly registered. And if, you know, I'm gonna vote for Biden. I'm gonna vote for, ooh, this camera is really close, like abnormally close. I may have to, if you guys see I'm bald headed, I don't have my nails. I'm a scallywag without my nails. It's like me not having on a wig or a lace front, you know, it's very dramatic for me right now. I feel handicapped, but I had to give my nails a break. So why don't we go into what gives me explosive diarrhea? It's just a certain name that people say, and it's Donald Trump. But you guys have been asking, and I have to give you what you want. But it's only going to be 20 minutes of what you want, because too much talking about this man makes my gag reflexes act up. And, you know, I already have a cough. So if you hear me coughing, excuse me. But I don't need to be shitting all over the place. So why don't we go and go into Donald Trump's, what are we in, August? So I have to go into September. So everybody asked, why have I waited so long? I didn't want to. I didn't want to talk about Donald Trump. I mean, is anything surprising anymore? Just the level of unprofessionalism is what really just gets under my skin. So okay, so overall, what is the energy for Donald Trump in one card? What is the energy for Donald Trump going to be like for the month of August? And I used the blackety blackest card deck that I could find with all black people just to be funny. So let's see what is going to happen in the month of, what is the overall energy? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Okay, so it's showing, this is this is moving on, but it's not moving on. I don't feel he's moving on with like defeat. It's not a defeated moving on. It's a moving on where, okay, I'll come back to this later. It's also speaking in terms, he's going to just kind of be like, you know what? I'm going to lay low on some of these policies for right now. And I'm going to focus on some other things. But it's speaking in terms of him moving on. This is also, we're going to, again, hear a lot about immigration. This is also dealing a lot with immigration, the children, parents, sending them back. We're going to hear a lot about it. For something's going to happen where in September, it's just on speed dial. It's like we're just going to hear more and more about this whole immigration issue, sending people back. We're also going to hear about a lot of people in September being sent back to their country, to their place of birth, to their place of lineage, to their place of heritage. Okay, so we're going to hear a lot about migration and people being deported, really is the actual word, which I think America has forgotten its foundation. So yeah, but anyways, we're sending people back by the truckload, and it's going to be a very active movement. It's going to be very well planned out and very well executed and things of that like nature. So guys, yeah, so it's speaking in terms of like movement, but it's movement. He's gonna, it almost has the energy of like, I think that's what's gonna be the biggest topic for the next presidential election is immigration. And I'm seeing how the words are being played with. Crisis, the the immigration crisis. Really, guys, technically there is no immigration crisis. There really isn't. It's just more so of the wording to scare you into thinking that there is one. It's not the first time America has used these words, you know, to kind of scare you off with immigrants. And being an immigrant myself, it's not that serious, y'all. It's really not. It's more so of the wording to scare you. Because last time I checked, you know, even people from Europe ain't originally from here. So we need to be humbled that our ancestors were allowed to stay here. So why don't we see what the overall energy is for the month, what he's going to be going through in politics. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. It's a lot of speaking about balancing the budget. He's going to talk about money. Money in a sense of what we've lost and how to get it back. So he's going to talk a lot about, okay, we've lost money and this and this and that, but here's the cutbacks that then I'm going to, of course, he's a Republican. Republicans make drastic cutbacks that we don't really, it causes everything to fall apart. I've never seen a productive Republican cutback. It always causes problems, and then the Democrats have to come up and clean it up. It's an endless cycle. It never ends. So yeah, he's gonna be attacking. He's gonna be like discussing. It's like, where is money going? Where is it going? We need to have a conversation about how is the government spending money. So he's actually about to start. I don't understand why. So I forgot, when do we talk about the annual budget? Is it September, October, or I don't know. But he's gonna talk about attacking where money is spilling out of, and it's gonna cause a rift again. Here we go again in the actual house. Yeah, he's going to talk about spending. Guys, we're about to, I've been saying this, but I think it's coming, because I do think Donald Trump is going to be re-elected, because at the end of the day, who do we really have to vote for? No one is really a shining star in this election. I don't think he's going to win. I do think he's going to win by a landslide. I don't think he's going to win. I still think people are tired of him, and I think people will come out to vote, but I still don't think it's going to be enough. So I do think he's going to win. Now, I will go back 90 days or 20 days before and check to see who the next president of the United States will be. But yeah, he's going to talk a lot about spending money, the new budget. He's going to go into a lot of new things in the American household. He's going to attack a lot of people, especially on the other side. People who are spending money frivolously. How do you say it? Frivolously. They were spending money without thinking. He's going to start to demand documents. It's also coming up for him. As he demands documents, they're going to demand his documents. They're going to want to see his taxes, his things. That shows to also be speeding up. And in the cards, it looks like the Democrats are actually winning in this one. So speaking in terms of them going at it. But then the House doesn't know how to spend money, y'all. There's both sides. It's not just the Democrats spend too much money. It's also a Republican issue. It's showing to be something that they cannot come together on how money should be spent. Okay? And he's gonna have some major problems with a woman. She's gonna block something. I don't think it's gonna be in September. I think it's closer more towards the end of the actual year. I do think this is the Speaker of the House, or the woman. He cannot stand her. He can, if her head fell off during the middle of a speech, he would kick it like a football, okay? During the Super Bowl, he cannot stand her ass. So he's not going to like how she's defending his cutbacks, like being like, nah, homie, nah, playa. You know, this is not going to go down in that type of way. So he's going to feel his limits on how he can make his cutbacks. Yeah, y'all, it's a lot of spending. We're gonna hear about it. I mean, it's the United States. It's the continent, the country. The continent of North America is known for spending way too much, being very wasteful in like nature. When it comes to food, clothing, we're wasteful, and that's why other countries are able to make so much money off of us, because we're wasteful. We don't store stuff. We're not thoughtful of how much water we use, how much electricity, so they're gaining. Yeah, huh? They're not going to agree. They're not going to agree. Excuse me, I have to cough. But they're not going to agree. It's just gonna be hung again, y'all. It's gonna be a hot ass mess, and we're just tired. I'm tired of these readings. I'm tired. I don't feel anything new anymore. I just feel it's just like it's the same story being told for every month. And they're going to fight. And they're going to fight because why? Because they can't get along. Because they can't get along. It's the same story. It's the same story, okay? I'm about to ask, how does Donald Trump feel about his the 2020 presidential election? What is the energy around Donald Trump in the presidential? How does he feel? Does he think he's going to like win? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. It's a hard, he feels it's a battle. He feels it's a hard battle. Like he feels like he already has so much on his plate, and now he has to try to run for a second term. So he's stressed out. He has a lot going on, a lot on his mind. He's still trying to figure out what issue he's going to bring as his main running. But we already know he's gonna tell y'all, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your poodle. It's too many Mexicans, it's too many Haitians, it's too many minorities, it's too much melanin, okay? Like, this is the problem. This is why our country is in a hellhole, which really, I think inflation is one of the biggest problems in the United States, and the lack of proper paying jobs. Like, why don't we talk about the real deal? A crappy healthcare system where we have people in Alabama talking about abortion's illegal, you know, I got bronchitis, abortion's illegal, you know, because God said so, but God also said to take care of your people. There is no health care. I mean, it's just a lot of craziness. So he's going to be trying to get everything in order, has a very overwhelmed energy. He's very overwhelmed. He's very busy. So it's funny, but because he's so overwhelmed, I almost feel like this election, he's not going to be as involved. I think he's going to have a lot of people. I think he'll be doing, you know, his trail run, but he knows he does have a lot against him. Yeah, he feels it's a losing battle, but he feels like, ooh, he's not. Excuse me, I have a cough. He feels like Americans are not pleased. I'm shocked. So I'm shocked. He feels that there's a lot of things that are almost trying to sabotage him. Like, almost like they're going to bring up what he's done wrong and what has not really moved for the sake of the actual country. A lot of truths are going to come out during this election about the American people and their struggle. His struggles to put he's going to hear a lot of it. I think it's very interesting, even though they're going to try, you know, immigration, the immigration crisis, quote unquote, is going to be his biggest argument, it seems like people are going to redirect it towards the American people not having enough. Because he knows that the government has failed. So he knows a lot of his failures are going to come up. So he's not excited about that. He doesn't want to talk about it, but he knows he's going to be forced to. So he doesn't want to deal with it. This is also telling me, y'all, there is going to be some surprises during this election. He's going to be hit with some stuff. He's going to have to take that whole immigration thing is not going to work as strongly as he thought. So he's going to have to reroute it. I think he's going to change it to helping working Americans, like why the average American can't really afford to pay a $1,700 one-bedroom apartment. Yeah. His strength is going to try to make it seem as if he's trying to help the American people in general. So it's going to be about Americans. And there's just this strange thing about patriotism, and Americans live in the like Midwest and they're of the Caucasian persuasion, and those are the only people who can really be patriotic, and it's a very distorted sense of reality, which America is not built upon that. Now it is built upon racist and and sexist laws, but who helped build this country? Various people from various parts of the world. So let's just keep it real, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's gonna reach into your heartstrings. He's gonna reach into your home. He's gonna talk about tax breaks, and he's gonna talk about helping you buy houses and helping you. That's how Donald Trump is gonna make it through this. This is how he's gonna get reelected. He's gonna try to stay away. He's going to talk about immigration, but then he's going to still try to sway, I'm trying to get tax cuts for the American people. He's also going to talk about housing. It's going to be something where he's going to promise people something where it's going to be easier to buy a house or easier to get into a house. So, so people buying homes and things of that like nature. He's going to try to make the American dream more touchable, which I think is a lie, because inflation is the devil's booty hole. So yeah. So why don't we see how Donald Trump is going to deal with the whole immigration issue, how he's going to deal with it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. There is no right way to resolve this in these cards. It's like, okay, we're going to try to get money to build this wall, but we're going to need a little bit more money to keep building it, because the bank statement is telling us it's going to cost a little bit more, and it's running behind. It's just a lot of talking about, yes, it's going to take time. We don't have enough money to sponsor it. It's not coming along. It's not moving along. And he's going to blame it, of course, on who? The Democratic Party, which that's not the problem. It's just that this is costing too much, which is the real problem. Because it's not realistic, which is you cannot build a wall to stop Hispanics from coming into your country. It's not going to stop, It's just so happened that, the continent that we lived on had a lot of natives before we landed, and they didn't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, why don't we look into how Republicans and Democrats are going to treat each other in the month of September? 5. And somebody needs to turn that Mueller report into toilet paper, because it was shit. Okay, it was shit. toilet paper report. So why don't we go and go more into what is the overall energy for Republicans and like Democrats. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. Y'all, I'm just tired of this party. I'm tired of both sides. Nobody wants to come to a resolution. Nobody, they can't seem to like, they can't seem to get, and they don't want to get it together. Would you try to get it together if you have free healthcare, free housing, free hoes, free everything? So I almost feel it's time to start changing the rules of how the things are done within the government. It's like nothing is getting done. It's just tons of fighting, tons of exposing, not knowing how to balance the like budget, hiding money, not knowing how to spend it. Like traitors on both ends. One person want to spend it. Y'all, they don't even know how to. What is scaring me and what should scare you as an American citizen is the lack of being able to budget money on what to spend money on, because September is going to be a very explosive month when it comes to what the American money is. They're also going to talk about the future of the American dollar, y'all. It's a lot of stuff. They don't even know. They're just as clueless as we are. It's sad. We have people leading us who are just as clueless as we are, okay? I just want to ask, how is the changes in the budget going to affect the American people of all races, black, white, orange, purple, yellow, turquoise, whatever race, color, nationality you claim, honey? How is these budget cuts and budget issues going to affect Americans? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. It's just not having access to like resources when we like need them. It's also speaking in terms of a stricter government that responds slower, meaning that they ain't trying to talk to you, it restricts us. It restricts us as a people. It dries out resources. We're not really talking about how a large percentage of Americans live in poverty. Without Walmart and food stamps, they would not be able to survive. Without disability, they will not be able to survive. You know, like I've been to some places in the United States, there are no jobs. There just are no jobs. It's just people not being able to get what they want, being at odds, not knowing, you know, what to like do. And that's just not for poor people. We've all hit hard times. If we don't really have help from family and friends, you're screwed, because the government is not about to help you either. Well, y'all, it was a pleasure, and conjure on.